So here we are. The Miami Dolphins offseason is unfolding, and once again, there's a spark lighting up the fan base, not because of a flashy free agent signing or some dramatic trade deadline twist. No, this time it's a photograph. Just a single, leaked, unassuming training photo. That's it. That's all it took. And suddenly, Jalen Wright is the name echoing through Dolphins Twitter like a war drum. You look at the photo, and for a second you have to ask yourself, is that even right? Are we sure that's not a linebacker? The dude looks like he was carved out of granite. You can see the tension in every muscle fiber. Shoulders like armor plating. Arms looking like they've never known rest. People stared, then stared harder, then started imagining things. Visions of this guy breaking tackles, bursting through gaps, and refusing to go down on first contact. And maybe something more. Jalen Wright, just 21 years old, stepping into his second year in the NFL. But this version of him? He doesn't look like a sophomore trying to find his footing. He looks like he came back from a mountain retreat where he fought bears, flipped tires the size of a Kia, and bench pressed the moon. Last season, no one really saw the full picture. 249 rushing yards? That's not going to make headlines. That's barely going to get a tweet. But anyone paying attention knew the story wasn't in the stats. It was in the flashes. That sudden cut upfield, the way he finished runs with intent, the quiet moments where he waited for something bigger. You can't fake that. You can't coach that hunger. You either have it or you don't. And now, we're staring at the result of a guy who's been stewing in that hunger all offseason. The transformation is loud. And if you're a fan, if you've been through the cycles of hope and heartbreak with this team, you feel it in your chest. This isn't just bulking up. This is a statement, a silent, muscular declaration that says, I'm coming. The Dolphins cutting Raheem Mostert was, on the surface, just another strategic move. An aging veteran, a bruising season, an eye toward the future. Fine, business is business. But when you look deeper, it wasn't just a financial or tactical decision. It was an unspoken vote of confidence. A reshaping of the backfield narrative. The coaches are betting on speed, youth, and raw power. They're betting on Wright. And here's the kicker. Devon Achane is still here. Still blazing fast. Still that electric third-round pick from Texas A&M who stunned us all with his bursts last season. So now we've got two SEC breadbacks, both young, both fast as hell, both with something to prove. Let's talk about that speed for a second. Achane ran a 4.32. Right. 4.38. That's track star territory. But it's not just the numbers. It's how they run. Achane glides. Wright punishes. Achane will leave defenders grabbing air. Wright will run through them. It's a contrast that makes sense only if you felt the chaos of a broken play. One slicing through space, the other creating space, with brute force. And the fans. Oh, they're already sold. The moment that picture dropped, the internet exploded. People projecting a breakout year. People predicting 1,000-yard seasons. People just straight up thirsting over the man's biceps. It got weird. And beautiful. Because that's what happens when a fan base that's been aching for something real sees a glimpse of it. Let's not pretend this is just about aesthetics, though. That photo, that image of dedication and intensity, it's only powerful because it hints at something more. Something about intent. Something about a guy who's not just here to collect a check and wear the uniform. He's here to dominate, to take over, to become a name that means something when whispered in huddles or shouted from the broadcast booth. And that intent is contagious. You can feel it creeping into the locker room, into the social media comments, into every podcast and barbershop conversation. Because we've seen this before. Not always with success, but the pattern is familiar. The quiet off-season grind, the sudden transformation, the chance for redemption or reinvention. Sometimes it ends in heartbreak. But sometimes it changes everything. People are already imagining Wright taking that first handoff of the season. The crowd roaring. The defense unsure. That first contact. That first broken tackle. You don't get this kind of electricity from a depth chart or a stat sheet. You get it from the unknown. From the maybe. From the what if. And let's be honest. Wright's not walking into a backfield with no competition. Achane is still the top dog for now. But football's not polite. Carries aren't shared because of seniority or media buzz. They're earned in practice, in preseason, in those ugly 3rd-and-2 moments when the game slows down and it's just willpower against fatigue. And something about Wright's current aura screams that he's ready for that fight, ready to push, ready to claim what he believes is already his. So where does this leave us? With hope, with questions, with a pulse that's starting to race again. Is Jalen Wright going to be the breakout star of 2025? Is this the moment we look back on in December and say, yeah, it started there? Is he going to become the wrecking ball this offense didn't even know it needed? Or is this just another mirage in the desert, another offseason flash that fades when the pads come on?